at the ordinary time. March!
In the space of just 1.5 hours, Johnston, MacArthur and the Corps have made the momentous decision to march on Government House and place Bligh under arrest. Government House is taken by surprise.
Whaley, get the horses ready. Dunn, upstairs. Help me with my uniform.
It is only 700 metres from the main military barracks to Government House. Bligh has no time to escape.
Government Master, the main guard is out and priming and loading.
Keep yourself cool, Whaley. Go and observe what's going forward.
Yes, sir.
Well, it appears, Robert, that Major Johnston seems to have decided we're not doing a good enough job.
But whatever he might think, Governor, he deserves to swing at the end of a rope for his impudence alone.
To buy time for her father, Mary takes matters into her own hands.
Stand aside, girl! You'll only get yourself hurt! Stand aside!
Get up!
Stand up! All right.
Take down the governor! What's the point with my young kids?
Robert, would you be so kind as to go and take care of the ladies?
Madam, come away!
Get downstairs. Try and delay them as long as you can.
I think you better let them in, Dunn. They'll only do your mischief and drive a bayonet through your glass if you don't. Stand aside! Where is Governor Bligh? We cannot stay. Search the room! Stand aside! Stop right there! Stop right there! Stop right there! Now stand down! Where is he? Where is he?
Bligh tries to grab sensitive documents before escaping, but the Corps have arrived too fast. He's trapped. The soldiers search the house and its outbuildings for 2 hours, and they can't find him. MacArthur stays outside with the citizens of Sydney and other leading businessmen like Gregory Blaxland and Simeon Lord. I guess it doesn't do to look too much in control.
Got a peep from his miserable eyes, sir. Damn the eyes! I will find him. Soldiers back upstairs again.
The soldiers make one last search of the house. At first, it's as frustrating and unrewarding as before, but then they retrace their steps.
What's behind this door?
That's my bedroom. There's nothing in there but my bed.
Let's see.
William Bligh's reign as Governor of New South Wales is about to come to an end.
Here it is! Here it is! The governor is found!
Then, a moment when it could have gone horribly wrong.
Mind yourselves, he might have a weapon!
Come, sir! Put up your sword.
I have no arms!
Put up your sword! I will run you through!
Keep the men off. I have no arms. Put down your sword, soldier. Put it down now.
Let us withdraw, gentlemen. We found him there, sir. Underneath the bed. Come on.
I will safely see you downstairs if you will allow me.
Will you take my arm, sir?
Thank you, Whaley. I'm perfectly safe with Mr. Minchin.
Whatever people think of bad-tempered Governor Bligh, he puts on a gutsy performance when he's arrested by the Corps. But what feelings must consume him? Here it is, the dreadful business of mutiny. Just like the Bounty all those years ago, it's happening again.
What have they done to you?
Mary, you must remain calm.
Have they hurt you?
No. But you must let them go about their business without provoking them.
I thought when they found you, they were...
Mary, you must let me deal with these men in my own way.
Major Johnson wishes to speak with you.
This document purports to be a warrant issued by the men of property. The idea is to make the overthrow of Bligh look legal.
You are charged by the respectable inhabitants with crimes which render you unfit to exercise supreme authority in this colony for a moment longer. Signed, George Johnston, Acting Lieutenant Governor.
Johnson calls himself Acting Lieutenant Governor because he wants to make it clear this is not a rebellion against London or the Crown. He knows that if back home they see this as treason, all these blokes could hang. The author of the document is John MacArthur. Well, you can see why he doesn't want to take the credit.
Well, you ought to be congratulated, Major, for the handsome manner in which you carried the wishes of the inhabitants into effect. Had I known I was so much disliked, I would have left the colony on the first available ship.
I'm putting you under arrest by the advice of my officers. I therefore command that you submit to this arrest under which I'm placing you. Place a guard on all four corners of the house, outside in the grounds. No visitors for the governor unless they have prior permission.
Sir, guards to your posts. Remember, no visitors.
Now the spin starts. Sergeant Whittle pays an artist to render in oils Bligh being dragged from under the bed, the very image of a coward. And the rebels set the picture up in front of lanterns for all the world to see. And it doesn't matter that Bligh could scarcely have fitted under that servant's bed. This picture becomes the image of the Rum Rebellion and one of the most famous pieces of propaganda in Australian history. Bligh's reputation never recovers. The night after the coup, the town goes mad. People light bonfires and burn effigies of Bligh. They roast lamb on a spit and drink themselves silly, cheering and toasting the leaders of the rebellion. Well, after all that, what happened? Surprisingly little, really. There'd been no revolution, no storming of the Bastille. The whole point had been to get rid of Bligh. And with Bligh and his daughter safely under house arrest, people just got back to their normal lives, with the Rum Corps and MacArthur pretty much back in control. But then a development that MacArthur hadn't counted on. A full year after the rebellion, Colonel Patterson comes back from Tasmania to assume command of the colony. This is Patterson of the duel, and he hasn't forgotten the wounds that he received from MacArthur. He at least believes that something should be done. He packs Johnston off to London to face court-martial, and MacArthur follows, believing that he can influence events and pull a few strings. Having deposed a governor, These two men are now law-abiding citizens, ready to face their day in court. In 1810, a new governor arrives. He is Lieutenant Colonel Lachlan Macquarie. Bligh is expecting to be reinstated as governor. Instead, he has been replaced.
Why didn't they just give you a temporary commission? I committed no crime.
It was not my decision. I answered the call, so to speak.
But why revoke my commission? It's all calm now. Peace has been restored. I barely got started.
I assume you intend to collect evidence for the court-martial. You, of course, must take all pains to present your case.
I can assure you that's precisely what I'll do. I'll have them swinging by year's end.
I have instructed the Colonial Secretary to make himself available to assist with the collection of all the appropriate documents.
I've seen various members of the rebellion walking the streets. What's to be their fate?
Much will depend on the outcome of the court-martial.
They deserve to be held in chains on a ship back home for a dose of English justice.
London, 3 years later, and the only trial of the Rum Rebellion finally gets underway. The army court-martials George Johnston for mutiny, a hanging offence. But Johnston is a sideshow. The man really on trial is Bligh, desperate to justify his own behaviour as governor and expose John MacArthur as the man responsible.
I would wish to ask this witness whether, in all the instances that may be deemed causes of the mutiny, there was any one instance where he was not concerned directly either as principal or party.
I don't exactly understand the question. I conceive the arrest was occasioned by the dread that was entertained of the 6 officers being sent to jail and the resentment that would have been excited amongst the soldiers and the inhabitants, the dread of an insurrection. Such were my own motives.
This is not what my question goes to, but to ascertain whether there were any other causes that produced the insurrection.
None at all.
Do not answer in haste. It seems that the first cause for grievance is the detention of that ship of yours and the forfeiture of £800. The next is about a post that was taken away from your ground, and these seem to be the principal parts of all the causes of the revolution.
Yes, well, those things I have no doubt caused great dissatisfaction, but I've never heard them assigned as reasons for the governor's arrest, nor any other reasons assigned other than the dread of an insurrection.
Were you not with the troops on the 26th of January? And did you not, as they marched up to Government House, give directions to several of the men, and particularly the music?
No, I have no recollection of anything of the kind.
Was not the paper signed by most of the officers and several other persons requesting Major Johnston to arrest the governor in your handwriting?
Yes, it was.
Where was it written and when?
I was informed that Major Johnston had been earnestly urged to arrest the governor. I advised Major Johnston to get a written requisition. He acquiesced in it, and I then immediately wrote the paper alluded to.
After 13 days of testimony,
Major Johnston, please rise.
It's time to end the story of the Rum Rebellion and decide the price to be paid for Australia's only military coup.
The court, having duly and maturely weighed and considered the whole of the evidence adduced on the prosecution, as well as what has been offered in defence, are of the opinion that Major Johnston is guilty of the act of mutiny as described in the charge, and do therefore sentence him to be cashiered.
Which means they've sacked him from the army. Men found guilty of mutiny can find themselves dancing at the end of a rope, so the court's gone easy on Johnston.